Hey folks, it's SuperNellyS, and I'm back with another Baldur's Gate 3 video. Today, I want to go over an insanely strong build for Karlach, or technically any Barbarian class in Baldur's Gate 3. So let's get to it. As I mentioned, this is an extremely strong build, and is usable for Karlach, or if yourself rolled a Barbarian as your main character PC. And it's pretty easy to set up, and only requires a few early items, but once acquired, can dish out a lot of damage extremely consistently. This build takes advantage of the Barbarian subclass Berserker, which gives you access to Enraged Throw at level 3, and this is what blows open the build. So with that being said, we are functionally making a character that is going to lob items, weapons, potions, and even other enemies at enemies to deal damage. First, let's get into the items that we need. While leveling up to level 3 and beyond, be on the lookout for the returning Pike. This item is the backbone of making this a viable build. It's a +1 Pike, but has the feature of returning to the equipped character after being thrown. This isn't perfect, and there have been some times where it did not return, and is likely just a bug with the game and not the ability to return. Because it returns to Karlach the player once thrown, it makes throwing more consistent and not requiring chasing down equipment from the battlefield after defeating the enemies. Therefore, you don't have to have a huge item pool to make use of this build, and it's a lot more consistent. That being said, you may want to keep a few javelins, spears, and tridents on your person as well, just in case. As I did mention, the returning Pike is not a perfect item in the game currently. So the Pike can be acquired by venturing to the goblin camp and speaking with Grat the trader. Spoiler alert, skip ahead to the next chapter if you don't want spoilers. If you do not pick it up before clearing the camp and siding with the grove, you will lose access to this trader, so make sure you grab it. Otherwise, it should be still available if you do decide to side with Minothra and wipe out the grove, but either way, it's valuable to acquire before making this decision. The next item you want to acquire is the Ring of Flinging. This can easily be acquired from Aron.
Where is Aron right now?
The trader in the Druid's Grove. This ring adds an additional 1d4 of damage to thrown attacks, perfect for this build since we'll be always throwing things. Always. Item-wise, these are the required items. Now, there are some other items you can acquire while exploring the region that will be helpful for this build, like the Crusher Ring, which increases movement speed by 3 meters, the Caustic Band that adds 2 acid damage to all weapon attacks, or even the Ring of Jumping, which grants the jump spell. Very helpful for getting height advantage and potentially adding even more damage through crushing damage. More on this later. Now let's get into the feats. At level 4, it's recommended that you take Tavern Brawler, as this adds your strength modifier to your attack rolls and damage twice, meaning we are doing even more damage, getting a free +3 damage at strength 16-17, and because this feat also allows you to increase strength by +1, you now have 18 strength, meaning an additional +4 damage. Other feats that may be helpful would be the Polearm Master and Great Weapon Master, although in my playthrough I'm not high enough level to test these out in combination with the current build, but if the game recognizes a thrown Pike still as a Great Weapon melee attack, then that would mean you have 10 plus additional damage, and the -5 to hit is negated by the fact that your strength modifier has been added twice to the attack roll. I have gone back and re-rolled my Karlach in a different playthrough to try out Great Weapon Master, and it does not add to thrown attacks, so disregard this entirely. Great Weapon Master is only useful for melee attacks, so if you do want your Barbarian to potentially play into some melee attacks while also throwing, then sure, it's great, but it doesn't add its damage to thrown weapons. The Polearm Master feat is also just good for having an extra opportunity attack if something is trying to close a distance with you before you've gotten a chance to throw something. Anything, add it. Now for multiclassing. If you're interested in multiclassing, you can dip into Fighter for 2 levels to get an Action Surge, which would mean a 7th level Karlach or Barbarian could in theory make 6 thrown weapon attacks in 1 turn, doing on average 20 or sword damage per attack, easily taking out high health targets in 1 turn. Keep in mind, multiclassing will likely cause you to miss out on feats or ability improvement opportunities unless you get to a milestone level in that class, so level 4, 8, or 12. So if you are going to say dip out to Fighter, I'd say go until level 4 or 6, as you'd still get access to 2 feats from the Fighter levels and 1 feat from the Barbarian levels. And you'll also have access to 4 rage charges and mindless rage as a level 6 Berserker Barbarian. Otherwise, you can stick to your pure Barbarian leveling. You let me know if there's something else you'd multi-class with this build. Fighter obviously gives the best single turn damage output, but I'm sure even taking some levels in, say, Paladin can help boost survivability. And one thing to keep in mind, if you were making this character from complete scratch, you might want to start with Fighter to get access to heavy weapon proficiency and then go into Barbarian. That being said, that would mean you're waiting longer to get into the throwing weapon build. Now, the last thing to keep in mind with all of this is height. During combat encounters, you want to be as high as possible from your enemies, as the higher something is when it is thrown or falls, the more crushing damage is done to the victim. This damage can be as high or even greater than the damage you initially rolled for the weapon attack itself, if high enough. I tested this against Dror Ragzlin, and a thrown javelin did 13 piercing damage. That's its initial roll. 8 total damage from Tavern Brawler, and 12, I repeat, 12 crushing damage from the javelin landing on him. Almost the exact same amount of damage from the initial attack roll. That one attack did 33 damage, which is almost half of the Hobgoblin's 75 health. So I hope that shows you how powerful this build and height is in this game. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if there are other character builds you'd like to see, or if there's a certain companion you want to build for. I'm more than happy to do some testing. I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate any likes, comments, or even subscribing to the channel. It helps me out greatly, and I hope to catch you in the next video. See ya!